Hi boys and girls, it's Monday the 22nd of February today, and I hope you had a really nice half term and you had time to relax and do lots of fun things. And today what we're doing is we're going to revisit some work that we did before the half term holidays. We're going to be looking at pictograms again, and we're going to be reading them in order to solve problems. But you know the drill, as we always do, we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up. Okay, have a little look at these number tracks here. Have a look at them and see if you can work out what the missing numbers might be. So, I'll just move this arrow out of the way. So have a look at them, see if you can work out what the pattern is, and then use that skill to work out what the missing numbers. Pause the video here, and then I'll go through the answers with you. Brilliant stuff. How did you get on? Could you work out what the missing numbers were? Let's do the first one. So I've got a 10, a 15 and a 40. Now we know lots about numbers like these. We've got them that end in a 0, that's a multiple of 10, and it ends in a 5, so it's in a multiple of 5. So I think this is counting in 5s. Because 10 add 5 is 15. So I wonder if our rule is adding 5 each time. So if I go backwards, I have to take away 5. 10 take away 5 is 5. Okay. Now then, if I'm jumping on 5 more, that must be 20, then 25, 30, 35, and 40. That's how we're counting on 5. Let's have a look at the next one. 240, 340, 640, 840. Now, the same with all of these numbers, we can see that our 10s and 1s are just 4 and 0. So it always ends in a 40. But if I look at our hundreds, I can see that these grow as we move up. If I look at 200 and 300, I can see that this is 100 more. I think this is going to be 440 because that follows my pattern of adding on 100. So if I add on another 100, that would be 540, 640, 740, and 840. Well done guys, I'm sure you're doing a great job. Last one. 2,200, 2,100, 1,900 and 1,700. They're definitely 4-digit numbers, but something's changing about each one. Let's look at our columns. Let's look at our place value. Hundreds are changing here, and hundreds are changing here. This thousands column is the same for these two, but then it changes here. Okay. Let's see. This is take away 100. So I think my rule is take away 100. So 2,200, 2,100. If I subtract 100, I end up with 2,000. How are you getting on? Did you manage to find that one? Let's look at the next one. We've got 1,900, which again is taking away 100. So if I take away another 100, I get 1,800. Oh, Mr. Cottle, that 8 is terrible. It's always important to make sure we do our numbers correctly. There we go. That looks a bit better. Brilliant stuff, guys. How did you get on? Could you fill in those number tracks? I'm sure you're doing a great job. Okay, so last term, in the final week, we looked at tally charts and data and looking at pictograms too. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk to you about what's similar and what's different about these two, and I'm going to fill in my tallies. All right. Now then, our tallies from year 2, you guys are really confident at, and I know that you know what we're doing. Okay, so if you want to, you can pause the video, look at the total, see if you can create the tally for that total. Okay. Brilliant stuff. Let's get cracking. So chocolate is favourite flavour. I've got 6 in total. That's 5 and 1. So here's 4. Remember, 5-bar gate, and 1 more is 6. Vanilla is 8, so that's 5 and 3 more. So we can do our 5-bar gate. And then we're going to count on 3. 1, 2, 3. Strawberry is just 5. So just a 5-bar gate. Mint is 2. So just 2 sticks on their own. Toffee we've got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And raspberry we've got 3. Okay. Now then, if you have a look at this tally chart and this pictogram, you can see that elements of them are similar. We've got all of the flavours from here. We've got ice creams though, instead of tallies. So a pictogram, we can use a picture to represent the amounts. If I count up all of these ice creams, I can work out that there are 6 ice creams here, which matches that. So I know that each ice cream, here's my terrible ice cream, equals 1. And if you remember, we call that a key. So each ice cream is representative of 1 vote. Okay, let's total these up. I've got 6 ice creams, I've got 8 ice creams, I've got 5, I've got 2, I've got 4, and I've got 3. So these are 2 different charts to show data. And often we call data, it's almost like people are choosing their favourite things or people are voting on lots of different things. And this is just a way to show it, okay? So what we're going to move on to next, we're going to look at a pictogram, see if we can answer some questions. All right, your job now is to pause the video here. And what I'll do is I'll pause it so this is nice and big, and then so that you can answer these questions too, all right? Don't forget that this slide is available on the school website so that you don't have to pause the video and so that you can look at it yourself and see if you can answer the questions, all right? So if you want to, pause the video here and then see if you can answer these questions from this pictogram, all right? Okay, that's a little bit bigger for you there. And the important bit are these questions. Okay, go for it. Excellent stuff. How did you get on? Could you use a pictogram to answer these questions? I bet you're doing a fab job. Right, let's have a little look. Each circle represents 2 votes or 2 children. Here's a quick question though. If I've got half of a circle, how much does that mean? I know that half of 2 equals 1. So we can assume that a half circle would equal 1 vote. Let's answer these questions. What's the least favourite colour? Least, we know, is the smallest amount. So which has the smallest votes? I think green has the smallest votes. I can count in 2s. 2, 4, and then 1 on its own. 5. What I like to do is be quite precise with my answers. Put the answer down, and then just to check, we put the number. Next one. How many chose yellow as their favourite colour? Ooh, this is a good one. If you're at home, you can count with me if you want. 2, 4, 6, 8, and a half one is 1. That's 9. 9 people chose yellow as their favourite colour. How many fewer children chose green than blue as their favourite colour? Let's see. How many fewer? Fewer means less. So let's see. Children. How many children chose green? We have 5 children chose green. And how many chose blue? 2, 4, 6, and 1 is 7. Let's see. To find the difference between the 2, we need to subtract them. So 7 take away 5, or 5 count up to 7, is 2. So 2 children voted for green less than blue. Now then, how many children chose pink and red as their favourite colour? If we're looking at two choices, we need to combine them, which means we need to add. So let's have a look at pink. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6, 8. 6. Oh, Mr. Costle, you and your 8s. Not very good at those. Something for me to practice. 8 add 6 is 14. There we go. And well done if you've written your own question for a friend to solve. You're doing really, really, really well. On the next slide is an example for you to have another go at as a different type of pictogram and see if you can answer the questions, okay? And then I'll go through the answers with you as well. Okay, I wonder if you can use this pictogram to answer these questions. So pause the video here, have a go. In fact, don't pause the video. I forgot to tell you the key. Each arrow is worth 5. That's really important to help you understand and answer these questions, okay? So each arrow is worth 5 amounts, or the amount of 5, okay? And remember, there's always a challenge question. Now you can pause the video. How did you get on? Could you answer the questions? I bet that you're doing a really super job, so well done and keep it up. How many arrows are represented by one arrow? If we look at the key of a pictogram, we can see that each arrow is worth 5. Which had the most hits? Now, if we look at our pictogram, we can clearly see that blue had the most hits. And remember what I said by being precise. Let's put a number with that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Which had the least hit. So that's the least amount. 5, 10, 15, white. Okay. How many more did black hit than blue? Let's have a little look. Oh, that's a bad question, boys and girls. Let's swap that question around. How many more did blue hit than black? That'll be a better question. So let's have a little look, shall we? We've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So our question would be 45 subtract 25 equals 20. Okay. Now then, here's a little extension. How many arrows were fired all together? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105, 110, 115, 120, 125, 130, 135, 140, 145, 150, 155. Now then, for the extra hard challenge, if we doubled it, how much would we get? To double it, we multiply it by 2 or add 2 of the same amount. Let's use column addition. 155, 155, making sure that we've lined up in hundreds, tens and ones, add sign and equal sign. We always add our ones up. 5 add 5 is 10. 10 is a 2-digit number, remember. So we put the 0 for the ones in there, and then we exchange our 10. Remember to add that on in a second. 5 add 5 is 10. Add 1 more is 11. Again, another 2-digit number. We take the 1 and pop it in the tens, and then we exchange the 10 tens, which is 100, across. 100 add 100 add 100 equals 300. 310 arrows were fired altogether. Okay, task. On the school website, there are 3 different challenges that have been saved onto one file so that you can see it. A is for mild, B is for spicy, C is for hot. What I want you to do is choose the level that you feel comfortable with, read the pictograms carefully, and then answer the questions. Okay, boys and girls, I'm sure you're doing a really, really great job. Keep up the hard work, and don't forget, always send your work in to me and Mrs. Bullimore, and we'll always respond. Well done, boys and girls. Speak to you soon.